Argentina are about to make the exact same mistake that nearly ended their 2022 World Cup before it started. The draw, the squad, the psychology, all of it. And we have the receipts. November 22nd, 2022. Lusail Stadium, Qatar. 36-match unbeaten run. Third in the world. The most favorable group draw any contender could have asked for. Argentina walked out against Saudi Arabia ranked 51st in the world. 3 World Cup wins in their entire history, assuming a result. You know what happened next. Salem Al-Dosari curled it into the top corner. 2-1, the biggest upset in modern World Cup history. Messi said afterwards his team felt dead. That shock, that cold, brutal, humiliating shock, turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to Argentina. It destroyed their comfort. It forced the mentality they needed to win it all. The problem? They are comfortable again. And this time, there's no shock coming to save them early. Here's every warning sign, and they get worse as we go. Argentina are in Group J, Algeria, Austria, Jordan. It is the softest group assigned to any top 8 nation at this entire World Cup. No one is saying that quietly in Buenos Aires, they're saying it loudly, confidently, like the group stage is already a formality. Scaloni said publicly, "There are no easy opponents." He knows what's coming, but knowing the danger and feeling it are not the same thing. Since 1962, every defending champion has eventually fallen into this same trap. Italy arrived in 1966 as world champions and were eliminated by North Korea in the group stage. France won in 1998, came back in 2002 as favorites with an even stronger squad, and were knocked out in the group stage without scoring a single goal. Spain won in 2010 and came back in 2014 to lose their opening game to the Netherlands 5-1. Germany won in 2014 and were eliminated in the group stage 4 years later. World champions, every one of them, all undone by comfort. Italy, Spain, Germany, France since 1962. This is not a coincidence. This is a pattern. And Argentina have the most favorable group of all of them. The group stage isn't just about results. It's about arriving at the knockouts in the right mental state. Saudi Arabia forced Argentina there in 2022, violently when it mattered. Right now, nothing is forcing them anywhere. And that's not even the biggest problem. This is not an argument against Messi. It is an argument about what happens when an entire team's identity is built around a 38-year-old managing his own fitness day by day. On May 24th, during Inter Miami's match against Philadelphia, Messi felt hamstring fatigue and came off. He arrived at Argentina's U.S. training camp and immediately followed a separate individual recovery program away from the squad. In the final warm-up against Iceland, Scaloni brought him off the bench, managed his minutes carefully, and called it reassuring that he scored. Scaloni managing Messi's minutes in a pre-tournament friendly 3 weeks out is not reassuring. It is a warning in disguise, and Messi is not the only one. Emiliano Martinez, Christian Romero, who only returned from a ligament sprain in his right knee, days before the squad flew out Leandro Paredes, Nico Gonzalez, Thiago Almada, Nahuel Molina. All of them trained separately at various points during the preparation camp. The spine of Argentina's 2022 champions, Messi, Martinez, Otamendi, Romero, De Paul, Mac Allister, Enzo Fernandez, Lautaro, Alvarez is the same group. 4 years older, 5 rounds of knockouts ahead of them in the most physically demanding format in World Cup history. Against Algeria on June 16th, you won't see the problem. Against Austria in Game 2, you still won't see it. The problem reveals itself in the quarterfinal. In extra time, in the 115th minute when the oldest core at this tournament is being pressed by a team that has nothing to lose. But this next warning sign is much worse. Scaloni retained 17 players from the World Cup winning squad. Continuity, experience, the champions core. Alejandro Garnacho, Franco Mastantuono. Garnacho hadn't featured for Argentina in almost 2 years after falling out of favor at Chelsea. Mastantuono, the 18-year-old Real Madrid midfielder, one of the most exciting Argentine prospects in a generation, managed just 1 goal from 23 La Liga appearances in his first European season. Both were omitted. Scaloni left the most explosive young attacking options Argentina have in European football at home, choosing the 2022 core over 2026 freshness. The logic holds, he trusts his champions. But in a 5-round knockout format with more matches, more fatigue, and more chaos than any World Cup in history. The team that lifts the trophy needs players who can change a game when the original plan stops working. Off the bench, in the 89th minute, when the legs are gone. There is one issue nobody is saying out loud, and it is the most dangerous of all. In Qatar 2022, Argentina arrived with something to prove. They'd won the Copa America but had never won a World Cup with Messi. There was hunger. There was an edge. The unbeaten streak gave them pressure, not comfort, because everyone was waiting for them to finally fail. Now they arrive as back-to-back Copa America winners, reigning world champions, the emotional favorites, the retirement send-off for the greatest player of all time. And that is the trap. Because every team Argentina face at this World Cup arrives with everything to gain and nothing to lose. Algeria, ranked 49th, will play the game of their lives on June 16th in Kansas City. Not because they think they can win a World Cup, because they know what Saudi Arabia proved in 2022, that beating Argentina once is enough to be remembered forever. Saudi Arabia was ranked 51st, Algeria is ranked 49th. Maybe it's nothing, or maybe we are watching the same tragedy begin to repeat itself in real time. Here's what Argentina would say, and it's not nothing. They survived Saudi Arabia, they came back, they won it. Messi at 35 went the distance when everyone said he was finished. Martinez saved the decisive penalty in the final. Scaloni adapted when the system broke mid-tournament and fixed it on the fly. This squad does not panic. That is a real edge earned in blood in Qatar. No other team at this World Cup has been tested the same way and come out the other side as champions. The back-to-back rule says no team has won consecutive World Cups since Brazil in 1962. Argentina's entire identity since Qatar has been built on refusing to accept history as a ceiling. They may prove every warning in this video wrong. The soft draw, the aging core, the explosive young options left at home, the comfort of being champions, the hunger of every opponent they face. It is the same mistake. Saudi Arabia was ranked 51st, had 3 World Cup wins in their entire history. Algeria are ranked 49th, June 16th, Kansas City. If you are not slightly worried, you have not been paying attention. So does Argentina win the World Cup? Drop it below. I'm pinning the first person who gives a real reason why. And Argentina isn't the only favorite walking into a trap. We are putting every contender under the microscope before the first whistle blows. If you want the receipts before the rest of the world catches up, hit subscribe. You don't want to miss what we found out about France.